You're going to get squirted in the face with my friendship. Welcoming you back for another yummy update. Friends, first thing we're going to do is Tom Lee expects macro to continue getting better. Let's have a listen.
Tom Lee, head of research at Fundstrat, chief investment officer of Fundstrat Capital. He's also the chairman of BitMine as well as a CNBC contributor. We've got some new stuff to factor into your either bearish or bullish case. I assume it's still somewhat bullish, but okay, the economy looks like it may actually be slowing a little bit. Last week, the markets definitely retrenched. You've been solidly bullish since Liberation Day. But last week was a setback, and August is not always a great month. You think we get a little bit of choppiness here? Are you still bullish?
Well, last week was definitely consolidation because we had 5 days where the market opened higher and closed lower.
Really?
And they call that bearish engulfing. It makes sense because we're consolidating that 28% gain from the April lows. And on the job stuff, I think it's just the data's catching up to what we already know. The labor market's been soft, right? So it's, I think, a positive setup because now the Fed has more ammunition to make a dovish pivot in the fall. And it's not too late because we know the thing that they're going to stimulate is the housing market. And you had a couple guests earlier talking about that. And so that is what strengthens the economy in 2026. So I think it's quite a positive setup. We're just consolidating and then we make a bigger move higher.
Tom Lee, here we go. Crowd favorite. That's what he expects that the market's going to enjoy a bit of cutty from the rates. Remember, friends, I've covered for you in Juicy News. Market is now pricing in between 2 and 3 cuts coming. They said 95% chance we're getting cut in September. 95% chance, so there's 25 there. Then there's another one in October. And then there's basically 50-50 on one in December that's going to come out here. Now, is it enough though? Is it enough to really stimulate stuff? I don't know. It depends on a lot of things all the time. You don't really know. But that's why, friends, as we move every month, the first Friday of every month, US jobs, non-farm, the payroll numbers, the unemployment job number come out. That's extremely important. That's why market does make all its forecasts and its models coming off for that. So once again, crypto is here, just caught in the middle. BTC ticking up 150,000 American dollars. Hopefully, it continues to crank on through. We've got multiple levels to go as we move on higher. Everyone's got their own different theories and little own cute astrology signs and what's going to happen out here. This is just if we follow blockchain backers' guess, we go up here and we come back down here, it still makes a channel. Okay, if we get something like that, and everyone's getting out here. So if I tell you, friends, if this happens right here, then the 4-year cycles are done. Because if you do the 4-year cycle symmetry, October is when they get out. Okay, it's down here. So maybe they come here, they're shocked, and then they get out on the next one. Just to let you know, that's actually what happens. Actually happen in PDI, happen in everything. Just to let you know. So it's not actually the first shock move where everyone fully gets out. It's everyone's like, oh, is it gonna happen? It's because what everyone wants the V. But you don't get the V. It comes back and it does one more bang. That's the one. You know what's funny? If you go look out, this is actually a market phenomenon. Happens all the time. This happened with Bitcoin as well. See how Bitcoin went down, up and here, and then look, everyone hoped it was recovering. Guess what happens? Here we go, the Trump tariff tantrums. Bang! This is the one that makes everyone get out. Everyone's like, that's it, I'm done, it's done. And then guess what? That was a low, pop, and we go up, okay? So at least we're prepared for some sort of phenomena like that, where if we go up, we don't run as long as we hope, and then everything comes tumbling down. Just if you don't get that V reversal, just know that's what markets always do, man. I hope that's starting to make sense for you as well. If you maybe relived some of your memories of holding through stuff, the first one you're like, oh, it's okay, we should have bottomed by now. But it's the next turn down that makes everyone go, it's never gonna work. That's the one. What we're waiting for. I've got more yummy updates here for you, friends. So, Soylana, friends. Do you remember BonkFun? Okay. BonkFun, I've got interesting information about its stats, but I'm going to show you some sad information about some scamming going on from including the likes of Andrew Tate. So, do you remember on Soylana, we have what they call them token launch pads, but they're just basically just shitcoin casinos. Okay, it's basically they launch JPEGs. You've got the pimple face kid, and you got the fat obese guy on Soylana. They're dumping after 7 seconds on everyone on the people out here. And you know what? Their audiences are a bunch of losers as well. I don't feel sorry for the audiences because I've seen 99% of how the audiences talk and type and what they do. And like I said, friends, make no mistake, friends, I'm watching them with the foot in their mouth. They're not saying, "Oh, another grown man's foot in my mouth." That's not enjoyable for me. They're not saying that. What they're saying is, "I've got room for one more." They're like, I can still put the other one. That's what they're saying, friends. Go listen to the LA Vape Cabal, everyone in Soylana out here. They're saying, "Hey, I've got other parts of my body you can put the foot in too." Dude, you're on your mum's 4th credit card. Have you not realized believing in nothing and trading is actually how you're getting poorer and poorer, circling down the drain? So what happened is with PumpFun, friends, they've lost 80% of their market share, which shock. I can't believe that straight away. And it's gone to BonkFun. BonkFun is just, now when you get scammed, at least they're like their dog themes. At least maybe you get a quarter of a smile out of it before you realize you've lost your money. Now, BonkFun, it's funny, the Soylana, a lot of people out here, I got a report on this, okay, this is important. They're yelling at everyone. They go, "Guess what? We flipped Ethereum." It's funny. They keep saying, we flipped Ethereum in revenue, in 7-day revenue. This is 7 days. So BonkFun, the protocol's made $5 million. Ethereum's made $4 million, you know, because there's basically no seasons and stuff happening on here. But look at SOL-eth ratio. It's still ticking down. Friends, it's almost outside of the circle. So while people are saying, "Guess what? Record volume, it's doing great, it's doing great," you're still bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. So that's actually what happens with this. You know, look, I am not, friends, it's just astrology, okay? It's astrology for men. I've got no idea what comes next. I'm just, on average, their exhaustion topping signal stuff behavior. What I mean by that is, what am I referring to? Well, the volume's going up heaps. The ratios are going down after a year and a half. So what actually is happening is, you know, the people stuck in the casino, they're getting more and more desperate. So they're trading faster and faster and faster. That's actually what happens at the end of crypto cycles. At the end of crypto cycles, the volume at the very, very end, things go super fast. Like Colt Dow did a 400x in 13 days. They do it at the very, very end of the cycle because everyone's got the maximum amount of FOMO. They've missed out. They're not retiring. They're looking back like, "Man, I started this thing like 9 months ago and I've just lost money." And this guy, one guy, he made money. You know what I mean? And they're reading these guides about how to make it. And remember, friends, I showed you yesterday as well, the average hold time of, and this is from the data, right? This is literally from the June data. The average hold time of the scum Soylana Jeep bots, the grifter bots, there used to be 5.5 minutes, right? Which is a pathetic amount of time already. Now it's down to 60 seconds. Yeah, so over time, it's been trending down. The average hold time before they dump. They get in, they snipe, they dump, and then now it's dumping in 60 seconds. So the SOL-eth ratio is just going down there. It's exhaustion. You know, maybe we'll just shop. Maybe stablecoin super cycle is going to come in. Now, friends, do you remember I've been telling you, look, BonkFun, you know, Mr. Unipix, I guess he's a nice guy and stuff, but here's the thing, man. I'm not going to shut my mouth just because, you know, maybe some people get upset. Go stuff yourself, dude. I'm not going to shut my mouth, right? And stop the highest value content in crypto for you. The highest value content in crypto does not stop for you, bro. It stops for no one, okay? And now this is what I'm going to squirt into your face. I told you the same grifters from PumpFun, now, instead of doing the purple and the green ugly cat logo, now they've got an orange dog logo, but they're still grifting you. The people in the casino, they're still the same number of people. You are not adding more people in the casino. So what's happening is they're now cannibalizing each other. Because there used to be 10,000 people in the casino, then it grew to 50, then 90, then 100, then 150,000 daily active users on this stuff. That's what happened, okay? They're all coming in expecting the same growth. See, all those people who are trading, they thought they have mad skills. You don't. It's just that more suckers were coming into the casino. That was your skill, being early. Your skill was literally being early. That's it. But they think their skill is like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm hip, I understand stuff. You don't understand anything, dude. You guys that's why you guys are getting rinsed. Thank you for the Coin Fashions Rec content for me to cover. Okay, so now the growth has stopped. You can see that by the ratios going down, by the way. You can see right here. This is the SOL-eth ratio. Look at that, friends. It used to be, friends, everyone was waiting for 0.10. Here we had Trump launching his meme coin. Fight, fight, fight. You're coming back down here. You already lost 49%. Man, imagine it just comes like all the way back here. Imagine it just comes like all the way back. You've literally, everyone, man, well, there you go. If that happens, look, that's a showing event. The money is not coming in. People are not coming in. It's the same people in there. And this is the thing. So a lot of people are saying, oh, but meme coins are the future. Yeah, they are. But here's the thing, man. You know, we like memes on other chains, right? We can see Soylana. We can see your 99% loss rate trash. And we reject it. So new people coming in, like basically what happens if you won the game, bro, you've exhausted all the buyers already. Because you've ran up for a year and a half. You've literally had the trophy handed to you. It came to you, man. You made Ethereum, you made Vitalik capitulate on Soylana. You made Bankless capitulate on Soylana, bro. You won. But that's just how markets work, right? You got all the suckers in at the end. Now the suckers want to get rich. No. You can't get rich. You shouldn't have GD the other bags, by the way. So I told yous, now there's Cabals that's going to be on BonkFun. I remember there was one person, 99% of you agree, but there's one person, I still remember the comment, that said, no, this one's different. This one's by the people, for the people. I was like, oh, my sweet, sweet summer child. Oh, smells so innocent. You honestly think this time is different? Friends, I'm going to show you this. Tier 1 Hater is a Twitter account. He has reported on Bonk Launchpad controversy and alleged scamming. Soylana meme coin drama. Tier 1 Hater has exposed Bonk Launchpad scam with QB, the Chinese Peppy. Just one coin. Just one. They found the leak. Insiders like Cobra FNF, Solport Tom, and Andrew Tate linked wallets are accused of pump and dumps via private buys and OTC deals. The Cabal is in. So I'm just going to show you how deep this rabbit hole goes, man. This guy's got a lot of capital letters here. He went through, he found all this stuff. I know you see a lot of it. Look at how Tom claims to have picked up on some on a private wallet. It's one of their private chats. Look at this. Friends, they've got screenshots of people following each other. Oh my gosh, it just goes on. So what? Oh man, it's so stiff. You know what they've done is, you know, in the chats, they've go, guys, I found a leak. I found an insider wallet. Let's go chase it. The audience doesn't know. The guy telling you he found the insider wallet, bro, it's him and his friends. It's him and his friends. He's pretending to say, shh, I found secret alpha. I found the coin over here. We found the leak. He's already in, by the way, and his friends are already in, just waiting for these people to think, oh, I get to front run all the other suckers? I'm definitely not the sucker. Open up. Open up. You're the sucker. If you can't tell me who the sucker at the table is, it's you. Oh, man, you know. It's okay to have a foot fetish. But do you really have to take it this far?
And then we just dump on these idiots?
Yes, Mr. Ross.
It's literally free money. It's like when your mom gives you lunch money, but instead of buying...
Oh, man. It's really funny. Man, friends, I'm not joking when I say, you know, every single person in Soylana or in the casino getting rinsed, they looked at Richard Hart and they go, obvious scammer, worst deal ever, I'm bailing. And they're like, you're so silly. Can't you find obvious scammers? They bought into the $1.3 billion offer of PumpFun ICO. And they're just getting rinsed right now. So, you know, I don't feel sorry for yous. You shouldn't either. Don't feel sorry for them. But we tried to help them. You know, you're going to learn one day, bro. You just, you know, do you want to take the easy path or the hard path? You decide, bro. Remember, friends, how does alt season actually start in crypto? So first, you need people to feel optimistic about the future. That's the biggest macro thing. Yeah, you need the business cycle up. We need the business cycle ticking 52. That's it. Every single crypto-wide alt season has started with 52 PMI. Every single one in the past 3. So you need PMI 52. When you get 52 there, people come in, they go, hey, I'm feeling optimistic about the future. Where can I throw money? Yeah, and then they will see other people making money in an area and they follow each other. That's what we're waiting for. I've also got some interesting PlanB updates, friends. Now, PlanB, do you remember his Bitcoin forecasts just never happened? They just, remember he was saying like, by now, Bitcoin's meant to be 350,000 and stuff out here, but they never happened. But some interesting stats I found from his video. 60% of people think that we will not hit 300K by the end of 2026. Now, this was interesting, right? So I remember, friends, I told you, I showed you and I told you the poly market odds a month ago. Out of all the coins, the crowd is stacked bullish, overly bullish, I could tell from those odds on Bitcoin and Soylana. Yeah. And they were understacked on Ethereum. Friends, you know Ethereum, the odds of Ethereum hitting $8,000 this cycle is only 16%. That's how bad it is. That's how, like, the crowd is, like, so fading it. And I think the odds of people saying Bitcoin 200K or something like 50%. Something like that. Yeah, and Soylana hitting $800 or $1,000, it was like 60% or 40%. It was like huge, huge. And that was obviously, there's a month or two ago. And then obviously everything's just been sliding ever since, right? It's funny, when I showed you, that was actually, that I showed you at the top of the Bitcoin dominance, the actual very, very top. And now it's starting to tick down. So they're interesting to think about, right? Where the crowd is. The 4-year average price, which is Bitcoin's traditional bear market floor, it's about 44K right now. So this is the stock to flow. Where are we going to go? Man, we're just waiting for these like bigger dots to come out. But it's interesting, right, friends? We are already in the super hot zone. Do you see how, if you go back and you look at, see where we are now, see we're in the orange. If you go and look where the orange is in each cycle, it is already super heated. You get it? We're in the last 1, 2, or 3 months. Right? 1, 2, or 3 months. It's very, very near the end. We're like at the end of the 40 cycle. But look at our ones. Ours truncated. So what's it going to be? We don't, obviously, no one knows how it's going to resolve, right? But it's just, that's what this thing's been different. And people say institutional demand and sort of stuff out here. This is the monthly RSI chart. It's been consolidating here, and we're waiting for this big thrust. Okay. Obviously, this thing has been going down over time, but it's interesting. He thinks, so, but when we're down here, he thought because of ETFs and institutions, the RSI is going to go up here. But here's the thing, man. Do you want to take that chance? What if Bitcoin is like 180K here? Are you going to take that chance? Like, what if you're wrong? You know, if you're wrong, bro, you're waiting a long time again. You know what I mean? So, I guess we'll see how it plays out. So, you and me, friends, we are battling the month of August. This is OTHERS-btc. Here we have August. Man, we have not had 2 green months in a row in literally forever. I don't even count these. This is bear market trash. This is June 2022. We literally went to 0. So, we've literally, this cycle, we haven't had 2 green candles in a row. This is garbage as well. July 2023. This is Gary Gensler saying that we're all securities and stuff. So I don't even count this trash. This is just rubbish. Okay. So literally we have not had anything where there's just more than 1 green month in a row. That's how bad it's been. Is this time going to be different? I hope so. Like, subscribe, really button, or catch you soon.